I hear Brazil is killing people. They're minus 800 against Croatia on Friday morning.
And you know what's crazy? Croatia was literally in the final last World Cup, and they're probably going to
That was Costa Rica, I thought.
No, Croatia played France in the last World Cup final.
Croatia made it that far.
Croatia low-key has some nice soccer players.
Yeah, Croatia's kind of good.
I don't know shit about soccer, but like I would have expected, like I
For
know
a
Argentina.
For a small ass country like that, they have a lot of really good.
They got some dudes.
Players.
I still love when Sam first joined. He didn't even want to pick games. He just wanted to rant about the Bears for 10 minutes, then leave. It was just so great.
Well, that's what Tommy made it seem like to me at first. Like I didn't know the format of the show, and then Tommy texted me and he's like, "All right, I'm gonna give you the Zoom link. Come on and just get fired up about the Bears for like 10 minutes, and then you can get off." And I was like, "All right, let's go less."
Yeah, I mean, we were still like, that was like week, I don't even know, like 3 or something, like 4. Like we were still trying to figure out the format of the show too. And I was just like, just come on, get super juiced up, and we'll hope for the best.
That my interpretation of that was like get a little drunk before I get on, and then just get on and start spewing takes about the Bears.
Cam just texted me and said he's getting on.
No, not the under.
Let's go, Cam.
So
I told you the under.
The under. But it's 8:18. Let's see how long it takes for him to join the Zoom.
Yeah, there's still 10 minutes. What
was the line?
8:28.
No one's here right now, so it doesn't really matter except Jake. But Jake's like, I got to study for the test in February.
Finish the first book today.
Jake's gonna be 35 years old, talking to girls at bars about the CFA and his Caleb Heisman.
Got 4 more books to go, but I finished the first one today.
It's a good milestone.
Made a lot of progress.
That was the best is when he was like, all right, I have to get off and study. And then Tommy, me, and Jake stayed on Zoom for like 4.5 hours.
Oh my God, the under hit.
About random bullshit.
Cam's wearing a
God damn it,
Hawaiian button down right now. Cam, I love it, dude.
I mean, I thought you were bald for like a good 10 seconds.
I just got a new cut. Just came from the barbershop.
Really?
Yeah, 20 to 144 or 20 to 130. It's a Miami Marlins shirt.
Nice.
Tommy speak.
Hello?
Could you name one player on the Marlins right now, Cam?
Chisholm.
Okay.
I don't even know if you're right or wrong.
Yeah,
He is right.
Yeah, big shout out Big Sandy. Where's the real Big Sandy?
Jerking off in his dorm room.
Probably.
Celebrating the Ivy League championship.
Yeah, to the Yale highlights from this year.
Big Sandy said he would be here.
Hey, with how
Big
much
Sandy
money
is
they made me.
as soon as I said that the Christmas bonuses are going to be reflected in attendance, I said I'll be there.
My Christmas bonus better be fucking fat if it's on attendance.
It will be. It will be, Sam. Your Christmas bonus is going to be better than most.
Hey, Sam bet on CJ Stroud to win the Heisman.
I did not.
It is true. That is anti-brand, which is one of the core,
I didn't do that.
one of the core values of the program.
I will send you my open bet screenshots of every single book I have and show you that that is not true. Let's go, baby. Michigan State.
All right, you guys ready?
Let's go. Let's do it.
Hello and welcome to the Boys Upstairs show. This is the Week 14 NFL show.
Woo!
All right, so game one on the slate here. One of the crazier lines that we've ever seen in the history of this show, in the history of sports gambling. The Vikings traveling to Detroit, Michigan. Lions are minus 2.5 against the Vikings, who are 10-2. Totals 52.5. We will go to Jake.
All right, so my lock last week hit. It was the Vikings -3 against Mike White. I mean, that was the easiest bet on the board.
You were
And this
sweating. You were sweating at the end.
wasn't sweating. It was Mike White.
It was close at the
kidding
end.
me?
You sweat.
Yeah, like Sam sweating his CJ Stroud Heisman future right now. Okay, but here's the deal. This is the most disrespectful point spread I've ever seen, ever. The team with the better coach, the better quarterback, the better offense, the better defense is plus money against a below 500 NFL team. Are you kidding me? Guys, don't overthink this. It's Minnesota. If Minnesota was minus 8.5, I would still take Minnesota. This is absurd. By the way, if they win, they clinch the NFC North. They clinch a home playoff game. The boys are going to be fired up. I'm not a big fan of, getting players involved with gambling lines because, we want to make sure that they're focused solely on getting the win. But hopefully Kevin O'Connell's floating, hey, Vegas thinks that the Lions are better than us. Because that'll get the team fired up. Give me Minnesota. Also, give me the under because the Lions are not going to be scoring many points. I think that Minnesota and the under is the play here.
I'll follow this, and I'm kind of angry after Jake just dropped his picks because I do have the same picks as him, and part of me wants to reverse my entire slate because of him accusing me of having allegiance to CJ Stroud when that is just fake news. 100%. I'm also going with the Vikings plus 2.5 here. I agree. I don't know what the spread was. I don't know if people don't think the Vikings are legit. People think the Lions are better than what their record shows. But I think, like Jake said, you can't really overthink this one. It's two divisional teams. These guys have already played each other in the year. Detroit made it really close, and the Vikings ended up prevailing. But the fact that the Vikings are an underdog in this game is quite astonishing. And I'm just going to go with the better team here. And as much as I don't like the Vikings are the better team. And I think they will win this game. And I'm also going with the under. Everyone who watches this show, everyone on here who knows me knows that totals in the 50s, I like to take the under. Totals in the 30s, I like to take the under. Totals in the 40s, I like to take the over. But that could change up a little bit. Stay tuned for later. So, yeah, I'm going with the under here. I don't think there could be points scored, but I don't think there's going to be 52.5 points scored.
Sam said that he thought about changing his picks to opposite Jake. My picks are opposite Jake. So I have the Lions. I have the over. Over is 8-4 to the Lions this year in their season. Lions have gone over both times they were a favorite this season. I just don't think that the Vikings are going to win this game because the line seems like a trap line. It seems like you should be all over the Vikings, and that's why I'm taking the Lions. I also like the over here because both these defenses are kind of bad. The Vikings are really bad yards per play wise. I think they're 30th in the league. The Lions are always in these high-scoring games. Sometimes they win, sometimes they don't. So give me the Lions. Give me the over.
I'm going to agree with Tommy. These lines are disrespectful. Almost just as disrespectful as Sam taking CJ Stroud to win the Heisman. But I just think the Lions, they put up points for some reason. Jared Goff is not as bad as a quarterback that everyone makes him out to be. The over-under is very high at 53, but I would still take it. I think both of these defenses are terrible. There are points that are going to be scored in this game, whether it's Jamal Williams, DeAndre Swift. The Lions have a good offense. They're going to put points on the board. They just seem to make it work every week. So I'll take the over, and then I'll take the Lions as well.
So a couple weeks ago, the Cowboys were playing the Vikings. The Cowboys were favored by a lot, and I'm just like, I don't get this. And then y'all explained to me that it was like a primetime game or whatever. I'm just like, I don't believe in that stuff. So I see this right now that the Lions are favored. So I'm like, is this a primetime game? Because like now I'm convinced. And it's not. So I have no clue why they're favored. I'm going the Vikings.
That was great analysis.
This is beautiful. That was top tier.
I'm going the Vikings.
I did go ahead and take the over on the game. Both teams have very mediocre to subpar defenses, and both teams put up a lot of points. That's a formula for a shootout. And the Lions have a tendency, especially when they're home, to put up a lot of points and get in shootouts. Do they win most of the time? No, they don't, but they do put up a lot of points. So I'm going to go ahead and take the over on this game.
I am going the Lions in this one. One thing I've learned so far this year is when it's too good to be true, it's too good to be true. Like, oh my God, the Chiefs were 5-point favorites against the Colts. That's a give me. It was not a give me. It happens all the time. Like once a week, there's like that line. It's like, this has to happen. And then it doesn't happen. I think that Vegas is part of the Illuminati, and they know, like, they would not make that line unless that line means something. I mean, the Vikings had no reason to lose this game, which gives them every reason to lose this game. But with some actual real evidence, the Vikings defense has been subpar this week, and not this week, this year. The Lions do put up a lot of points. Regardless if they win or lose, they do put up a lot of points. They have a high-powered offense that the Vikings might not be able to keep up with. The Vikings have only played one or two really good offenses, the Eagles, which they lost to, and the Bills, which they beat off a error in their own end zone. So
It was a fair, hard-earned win, but okay,
so
keep
it was
going.
a very fair, hard-earned win. Great catch by Justin Jefferson made. Some things had to go their way, though. But it was a great, hard-earned win. But they have not seen too much of crazy, high-powered offenses. They haven't had a necessarily weak schedule, but they haven't been playing teams that put up crazy, crazy numbers. So I think the Lions, they've been on a little hot streak. They've been doing good. They actually matter this year, which never happens. So I think I'm going to take their spread. And I'm also going to take the under so far in every game this year where I'm like, this is about to be a shootout. It is the day that everyone forgets how to play football. I remember in the beginning of the year, Ravens, Bengals, 50s over. Everyone's like, that's a shootout. 1917. Bills, Chiefs. That's about to be a shootout. That shit was not a shootout. Last week, I'm like, oh my God, Chiefs, Bengals, that's got to be the over. Surprise, that shit was not the over. So I'm going to take the under here. If it seems like an over game, it's not an over. That's what I've learned. So Lions spread and it's an over.
You know what? I'm gonna jump. My bad. I'm gonna jump right back in here, Coby. You convinced me. I'm going just Lions. Take the over off the card. I don't want the over anymore. Just the Lions.
Alrighty. I'll keep it short and sweet. I like the Vikings. I think this is a game like we've been talking about. Vegas wants you to overthink. I think it's an easy Vikings. Plus, you got plus points, so even if they do lose by 1, you still win. I don't think the Lions are going to outscore the Vikings. I don't think their offense is anywhere as high powered as them. The Lions, it's even though Jamal Williams does have, I think he's top 3 in rushing touchdowns. Their run game does not impress me at all. DeAndre Swift hasn't been used at all. So all they have is the passing game, and Amon-Ra St. Brown's really their only threat right now. So I like the Vikings.
Game 2 on the slate here. So Tampa Bay Buccaneers, fresh off a 14-point comeback win on Sunday Night Football against the New Orleans Saints. Traveling to San Francisco with Brock Purdy starting at quarterback. 49ers are -3.5, totals 37.5, total in the 30s. We will give it to Sam. Go ahead.
There's going to be lots of interesting things said from me, and the first one is the Bucs fucking suck, but I'm still betting on them at +3.5. And here's why. That game last week on Monday night, I was ready to break TVs. I was ready to do anything. Like I was livid about how every single thing seems to go Tom Brady's way. Shout out Barry McCockner. I agree with him now. I see where he's coming from. Every single thing, whenever it matters, goes Tom Brady's way. He leaves the whatever AFC North, whatever, and they all of a sudden AFC North becomes good. He goes to the NFC South. NFC South was good, but he goes there and they suck all of a sudden. And he's leading a 6-6 team, and they're going to host a playoff game, most likely. The last game, Mark Ingram runs out of bounds with 1 yard to a first down with no one around him, and that basically cost them the game. Tom Brady throws checkdowns the entire game and finds 2 touchdowns after playing like shit for 3 quarters. Oh, he's the GOAT. He's Tom Brady. It's just classic Tom Brady. No, he's fucking washed. That being said, Brock Purdy, I like what I saw from him. I like what I saw from him last week, but I'm also a big believer in when the new QB comes in for a game and they play good. I'm not a hater on new QBs as much as I am skeptical that the success a lot of the time comes from opposite teams not game planning for them, especially when they come in the middle of the game. Obviously, Miami game plan for Jimmy G. They were planning on facing Jimmy G the whole game. Brock Purdy comes in. Game plan gets a little bit mixed up. He only used Christian McCaffrey for much the entire game. That being said, it's also a total in the 30s. I'm not touching the total. The Niners defense has just been unstoppable lately. So I could see some points being scored. I really hope the Niners come out with a win, but I'm taking Bucs +3.5 to be safe.
After we just lost to the Niners last week, it was a tough one. It hurt. We lost to Brock Purdy, Mr. Irrelevant. But despite him being Mr. Irrelevant, I don't think that the Niners offense needs a dominant quarterback to win games. They don't need to they don't need a great quarterback at quarterback to win games and put up points. Their game plan is literally to get the ball out of his hands quick as possible and find the playmakers, make them make plays. So I do think the Niners are going to win this game by probably more than 5 points, maybe 10. I just don't think Tom Brady can put up points. The Saints games, that's always going to happen. He always has some weird vendetta versus the Saints where it always comes down to the last second. No matter how bad either of these teams are, the Saints and the Bucks always play it close. So I'm not really impressed by that game from Brady. I just think the Bucks are going to very much conceal the receivers. They have great DBs, great linebackers. They can cancel the run game. Brady's not going to put up any points, so Niners spread. And I'll definitely take the under in this game.
The 49ers are on a 5-game win streak. I think that they're getting healthier on the defensive end. I know they lost Jimmy Garoppolo, but they're starting to come together defensively. The Bucks have struggled offensively. Purdy's going to have a couple good weeks. He is what Kyle Shanahan likes. He's a system quarterback. He doesn't ad-lib too much. He can make the throws that are necessary in this offense. Kyle Shanahan really makes it easy on quarterbacks like he does for Jimmy, and I think that he's going to succeed. I am going to take the over. I think the 49ers might reach the over themselves in this game, let alone with the Bucks putting up a couple points.
Niners have questions only at quarterback because it's pretty much an all-star team everywhere else. And on top of it, the spread's 3.5, which is the worst number to bet on in any football game ever. Do I really trust the last pick of the draft to be that calm, cool, collected going against a decent defense in Tampa's and Tom Brady in his first start? I don't. They might win on a field goal, but if they do win on a field goal, Tampa still covers the 3.5. So give me Tampa.
Again, like I did last game, I'm not going to touch the spread here, but I will take the under for the game. The Bucks struggle so much to put up points, and with that awesome 49ers defense, there's no way that they put up more than 14 points themselves. And with the backup with the third string quarterback, actually, I think that the Niners, even though they have all the weapons in the world, I don't think they put up too many points against a pretty decent Bucks defense either. So I'm gonna just take the under.
Brock Purdy last week, 210 yards, 2 touchdowns, 1 interception. They won the game, obviously, convincing fashion. 49ers defense is really good. They've allowed 7 points in the second half since week 8. That's incredible. But Bucks defense also pretty good. That's been said. What has been said, Bucks are 2-10 to the end of this year. I think the under is going to hit in this game. I'm agreeing with Nickson. Just the under. Under 37.5, that's a low total. I see this being like a 17-10, 17-14 type game. So give me the under.
It's funny. Tom Brady reminds me a lot of what Ben Roethlisberger was last year, where he looked horrible throughout most of the game. But once crunch time needed to come, it looked like same old, Tom Brady. That's what happened this past weekend. I mean, Jesus, Mike Evans was wide open on a go route. He overthrew him by 10 yards. And it's just stuff like that you don't see. But I think that's what's happening is you get older, you obviously start losing it. But 49ers defense, they're one of the best in the league. I really like them. Their defensive coordinator is a good guy too. They've been stopping teams. No one can seem to do anything. The Dolphins offense is arguably one of the most fire-powered offenses, and they couldn't seem to do shit against them. So I really like a low-scoring game, like 10-13, like Tommy said.
I'm going to keep riding that wave. If it wasn't for that 70-yard PI call in the end zone at the end of the game, then they don't win, and the Saints win, and then whatever happened with Mark Andrews. But I don't know if Mr. Irrelevant can beat like a shaky Tom Brady. So I'm not going to touch either of those. 3.5 is a lot of points. So, yeah, give me the under.
Game 3 on the slate here. Cam's Miami Dolphins, fresh off an embarrassment last week. 2 weeks in a row, Tua has been pulled from the game. 2 weeks ago, it was for them being really ahead. This week, it was for them being really behind. So, tale of 2 weeks. Dolphins traveling to Los Angeles. Still favored, -3. Totals 52.5. We will go to Cam to defend the Dolphins. What do you have to say?
First off, I would like to say the Tua hate is it's a popular thing to do, When he's winning, we're very silent on this podcast. When he's
We're
down,
not, though. Like I've always been consistent in my Tua takes. Like I've said that the Dolphins have been overrated. The record is not, or they're not as good as the record shown all year. But either way, go ahead.
Okay, continuing. I just think it's one bad week. It happens. He threw 2 interceptions. It's not good. 54%. That's kind of mid. But I would like to point out he hasn't thrown an interception since September. So we're in good hands. I'm not pressing the panic button on this team. Not yet. Some fans want to, but not yet. It's the 49ers, like I just said, they don't need a quarterback. Brock Purdy sucks, but he doesn't have to do anything. He just has to get the balls out of his hand and get it to the playmakers. You can put up points like that. And their defense is going to – that was probably the best defense we faced all season. I think we win this week. I think Tua comes back to who he is. He's had 9 touchdowns in the last 3 games before the 49ers game. Probably had the best season of all quarterbacks this season. I just want to say that. Probably besides Patrick Mahomes, of course. That man's on God tier level. But with that being said, I am not pressing the panic button on the Dolphins. We will win this week. We will cover the spread. My lock of the week has probably been Dolphins spread for like the past 6 weeks. It's hit a good amount of times. I just want to put that out there as well. So Dolphins spread. If you're feeling good, the Dolphins might hit the over by themselves. So take the over.
I'd like to say Justin Herbert has 500 more yards than Tua, 1 less touchdown, and 2 more picks with no Rashawn Slater and Josh Palmer as his leading receiver. So Justin Herbert has probably been a better quarterback. Maybe not the stats aren't there, but personally, he has been a better quarterback, less to work with, putting up more yards, 1 less touchdown, and 2 more picks. The Chargers have had an injured and tough season. They're 6-6, but I think they got this one. I think the Dolphins are about to go on a downhill little snowball for the rest of the season. I think teams are starting to figure them out. They have so many weapons, but without a quarterback that can throw the ball down the field, you're only going to get so far. A quarterback is the most important position on the field. That can only get you so far for so much of the season. They had the easiest schedule for about 5-6 weeks before they played the 49ers, which they got dominated. I think there's going to be a lot of points scored in this game. I think that the Dolphins are obviously they put up a good amount of points unless they're playing an actually good team. And the Chargers, they've been putting it together. I mean, obviously it's going to be challenging for them in the beginning. Injuries left and right. They're kind of figuring it out. So they're going to be scored in this game, and the Chargers are going to win, and the over's going to hit.
When are we going to stop making excuses for Justin Herbert and the Chargers?
Thank you.
I mean, it's getting ridiculous at this point, and I know everyone wants to say Justin Herbert, he's so fundamentally sound. He's got a huge arm. He's got all the intangibles. But I mean, hey, the guy is 6-6 right now with a pretty damn good roster, and he's not winning football games. And I'm starting to put Brandon Staley on the hot seat here too. I was a big Brandon Staley. All right, Cam, I get it. You go to John Carroll. I know. I'm sorry. I know. But Brandon Staley was known last year for being a big dick energy guy, going for it on 4th down all the time, and I loved it. And his thing was defense. He was the Rams defensive coordinator not when they won the Super Bowl, but when their defense was in a very good state. And this Chargers defense has loads of talent. You've got Derwin James, you've got Khalil Mack, and I know Joey Bosa's out, but at the same time, it's not
JC Jackson.
Yeah, exactly. That's besides having Joey Bosa out is not an excuse for how poorly they've been performing. And I get it. Keenan Allen and Mike Williams have been the injury bug, but the thing that bugs me the most is the complete criminal misuse of Austin Eckler, who is an amazing talent at running back, and they just can't figure out what to do with him. Do we throw with him? Do we run with him? And if they want to run with him and it works, we'll stop. We'll start throwing it to him. And it's just not working. You got to figure out a way to use that talent in him a lot better. And I'm just done with the Chargers, so I'm taking the Fins here. I'm not completely bought in on the Fins. I don't think like they're a great elite team, but I think they're good enough. I think they can be like sort of competitive in the playoffs. But I see the only way I see the Chargers winning this game or covering is by beating the absolute shit out of Tua, and you're going to need Khalil Mack to do that. You're going to need Khalil Mack to do his job there. And I'm also taking the under for the same reasons I've said before. 52.5 is a lot of fucking points. And I think every time this year I've taken an under in the 50s, it's hit. And I would even, if anyone wants a little money, any of our viewers want some money, maybe even sprinkle a little small bet on the exact number of points to be 52, because that is what happened, I believe, in case my math is very wrong. Wait, no, my math is correct. 27 plus 24 is 52, right?
51.
Quick math.
28, 24
24 plus 27 is 52, right?
It's 51.
Fuck. All right.
Let's go.
Just disregard everything.
We're not
Disregard everything I just said. Dolphins minus
Shout out arithmetic.
All right. I used to be a math guy, but not anymore. All right, there's my picks.
Sometimes when I like look at totals in the 50s, it's like, all right, no chance I'm touching that. This one though, I feel good about. Over in this game, I think these are two offenses that are just gonna go all out in this game. I just feel like sometimes when it's like a game in the 50s, you're like, this is a game that's gonna be under, just like because of everyone thinking it's gonna be an over game, it's not gonna be an over game. But this game, it's still gonna be an over game. Over is 4-1 in the Dolphins' last 5 games. Over is 5-1 in the Chargers' last 6 games versus team versus a winning record. And this is Tua versus Justin Herbert. Number 5 pick in the draft, number 6 pick in the draft, all the implications. I'm not going to take a side. Give me the over, 52.5.
The Chargers are the most snake big team behind the Lions. I've been watching them a lot this year. No matter how much talent they have on the team, they just can't win games that are important. Clearly they have a chance of getting a wild card spot. The Jets are still there. And I think the Patriots are going to start falling. But the Chargers, I've been a big Herbert hater, but man, he just doesn't seem to have it. I've watched him a lot this year. Yes, I've watched him a lot this year. He's had the ball with 2 minutes left to get into field goal range, to get a touchdown, and he immediately throws interceptions. And he also shows zero emotion when doing that. So I don't really know if that goes with his character or what, but I just don't think he's the guy. With that being said, I don't really like Tua either, but the Dolphins are a lot more talented team. I think their coach meshes well with Tua and their game plan around him. Like I said, I can't pick the Chargers. I got to go with the Dolphins in a 1-score game. So yeah, Dolphins -3.
Okay. Sunday night football should be a great game. Great jersey game. Love the jerseys on these two teams. I think the Herbie slander needs to end. For all the beautiful reasons that Coby articulated, I'll be short and sweet. Give me the Chargers and give me the over. That is all.
Really quick before I think Sean still needs to go. When the Dolphins, or if the Dolphins were to go back to their old logo and old uniforms, when they wear the retros that are like the old uniforms, if they just made that they're all like their regular uniform, I would feel like I would have just more respect for them pound for pound. Because right now their logo sucks. I'm not gonna lie. It's really unintimidating, if that's a word. It's really like cute. And
it's a cute ass dolphin.
Yeah, I wouldn't say it sucks. I think in terms of like tiers of logos, the Bears and the Packers would qualify as suck, where it's just a C or a G. Sam, it's a letter in the alphabet. You know it's a terrible freaking logo. Give me a break.
The Bears one isn't. The Bears one.
Okay, yeah. What do you do with a beard and hat on is so much better.
I mean,
just a simplicity, Jake. A team that wasn't around that long wouldn't know that.
Really quickly, I think that the worst 3 are definitely Jaguars, Dolphins, and I just think the Colts logo sucks. Like they could make it a horse and it would be cool. Like the horseshoe looks bad in my opinion. But like the Jaguars,
the Browns.
Yeah, the Browns, but the Browns is like kind of historic, so I don't know. But like
fucking helmet.
And the Browns have that
helmet. It's not even brown.
I was gonna say this. I think the Colts have the best away uniforms. I think it's a clean look.
The Saints
all white with like the blue outlines.
I think whiteouts are the best uniforms in the NFL.
Anyways, regardless, if the Dolphins went away from this really cute, not intimidating logo and went back to the old Dolphin, I think that they would be like more respected in a lot of people's eyes. But either way,
logo or not, they're beating the Steelers.
Either way,
bro, everybody's beating the fucking Steelers, bro. That's not.
All right.
Yeah, go ahead, Sean. Go.
So before Cam just blasted my team, I was gonna say I honestly agreed with you, Cam. It's any given Sunday, you know, they had one bad game. I know Dolphins fans are maybe a little worried because they just lost to Mr. Irrelevant, but I mean, I think it was just a fluke game. So give me the Dolphins -3.
It's time for the best part of the show here. It's time of the show where we make you money. It's time of the show where we give you the best bet of the week. It's the locks of the week. We'll go to Tom.
I just want to put this out there. I think we are going to witness an absolute murdering this weekend when it comes between the Chiefs and the Denver Broncos. Chiefs are pissed. They just came off a bad loss to the Bengals. The Broncos are horrible. Russell Wilson is not cooking at all. This team can't score 18 points a game. The spread is 9. I think it's Chiefs minus 60, but I'm taking Chiefs minus 9.
I'll follow tone here because I have the same pick. Chiefs minus 9.5. Until last week, this is a crazy stat. Until last week, NFL teams were 0 and 206 when committing 2 turnovers, forcing none, and failing to score more than 10 points. The Broncos last week made it 1 and 206 when they lost to the Ravens. Also, the Chiefs have beaten the Broncos 13 straight times. That's kind of incredible. And they've outscored them 168-74 in those last 13 games. So give me the Chiefs minus 9.5.
Surprisingly, consider the situation. I'm going to go ahead and take the Ravens plus 2.5. Even in Pittsburgh, I think that the fact that we have the backup that we have, which is basically a Lamar light, like a great value Lamar, it's not really going to affect the game plan much and how we attack offensively, even though offensively we haven't really been doing good these past 3 weeks. But I feel like our linebacker core and on our front seven has been doing really, really good. So I think we stopped the run. We stopped Najee. I'm just really worried about how we cover Pickens and Johnson on the outside. But albeit, I'm still going to take the Ravens. I have faith in them to come out and keep the game close and hopefully pull one out at the end, just like how they did against the Broncos.
It doesn't get better than this. I genuinely have no doubt in this game ever. Like, I would probably sell my house for this game right now if I were the fans. But Seahawks versus the Panthers. The Seahawks will win this game. Geno Smith is him. Great defense. Great team all around. Travis Homer, Osbridge alumni. 3rd string running back for the Seahawks. Great guy. So Seahawks spread. Seahawks everything.
I have the Seahawks -4 over the Panthers. I don't know why it's that low. The Pierce are still writing off Geno. I don't get that. So yeah, Hawks. Great minds think alike.
So I'm gonna go with the over in the Jets Bills game. The Bills are giving up 22 points a game in their last 5 weeks, and that includes only giving up 10 to the Patriots. So, you know, if the Patriots could do anything except call HB slip screen and 5-yard outs on 3rd and long, they probably would have given up more. So I think that they're going to struggle. The Jets, Mike White, they put up 22 points last week. He threw 2 picks and 0 touchdowns against the Vikings. If you don't need your quarterback to play well, to put up points, then you're going to score a lot of points. In his 2 weeks, he's put up 37 and 22. I think the over 44 hits. The Bills are going to put up at least 22 points themselves, and their defense is injured. Von Miller out for the season. Matt Milano is on the injured reserve, and one of their starting defensive tackles is questionable for the game. Matt Milano's questionable. He's not on the IR. Von Miller's on the IR. But yeah, I'm going to say this game goes over 44.
It's December. December in-division matchup. Unders are normally very lucrative in this stage of the season. And the Giants are playing the Eagles this week. And the total for that is set at 45.5. So I'm going to go with the under there. I think the Eagles are good. Giants are okay. I don't really know what to think of the Giants. But I think this game's going to be played very defensively. I think the Giants' game plan coming into this is going to be where you have to stop the Eagles from scoring points, as opposed to try to outscore them, because the Giants let's face it, they're not going to beat the Eagles in a shootout. And I think it's going to be a close one. I don't really want to touch the spread on it, but yeah, I don't think 45.5 points are going to be scored.
I do not support Deshaun Watson.
Yes, you do.
I do not think the Browns are going to win this game, but I think they're going to cover 6.5. The Bengals are coming off maybe the most impressive win of the season. I expect them to be flat, and I expect this game to be closer than the experts think. So Browns plus 6.5.
Good teams win, great teams cover.
But like and subscribe. Thanks for joining us. Thank you guys for being here. Thank you for being here. Like and subscribe.
Protect the shield.
All right.